Hello there, ancient Arboreal wisdom enjoyers. So, right now I want to review the Maokai versus Jax matchup. Now, just to be clear, this Jax player wasn't any kind of Jax player. He was a multi-season over 1k player, of course. Um, but also used to be rank 1 Jax in the world, right? So that we cleared it out, I want to talk about how does the matchup go. So, this guy has Ignite, not TP, which means that his all-ins are a bit more devastating, right? From the other hand, he plays Lethal Tempo and he plays Jax, which means you can't commit for all-ins. You should not try to all-in him because he just beats you. He just beats you. Just to be clear, because of his constant W DPS, he dodges your auto attacks with his E, and his ultimate gives him a great amount of DPS, mainly because of his passive, right? Like, look at the amount of attacks with this guy can accumulate. Now, matchup wise, you can't go for grasp. You cannot basic attack a Jax. Very simple reason for that. He dodges your basic attacks. It's not worth. What you want to do is just go for Comet, because Comet cannot be Jaxied, right? It does not parry it completely. Scorch, again, same reason. You have more poke. You can't really go for Gathering Storm because you don't really want to just scale as Maokai. You want to maximize out your early game. The reasoning behind bomb plating is easy. He all-ins you, and the other one, unflinching anti-CC to adapt the force to make your Q pokes and E pokes more potent. Armor because he deals a lot of AD damage in the early game. Now, let's jump straight into the replay, guys. So, in here we can see Maokai top lane with Ghost and TP. These are your general choices of summoner spells. So let's skip forward in here. Very easy. Try to get the first 3 minions with your Q. If you can get the poke on him, that's a bonus. But again, that's just a bonus. 3 minions are your simple goal. In here, you just space easy. Don't try to walk into easy, otherwise you're gonna get shit on. And again, Q as hard as you can, poke as hard as you can, and watch, it does some damage. So if you go for poke runes, we actually hurt. That's over 100 damage. Great. Now watch out on his level 2, of course. If he's about to hit level 2, just play a little bit more carefully until he can set up a knee in the bush. Now at level 2 he has Q. He can jump on you, right? He can also use his E. Now, once you give up your Q, generally he's looking to go for an engage, right? What you should do in that case scenario, just pull him into an E, but sometimes you can actually just like bait them in an E because he's looking for an E, trade on you, then jump on you with his Q. So you can just bait them in an E and we can see even the E does some degree of damage. But usually you use them defensively, which means you place them down and play around them in a way that they don't hit the wave. So you sort of place them a bit deeper, not like very outer, so it's gonna collide into the minion wave, right? So your bushes are your safe spots, sort of, right? Even there, I placed down a ward, but sadly this minion just decided to target the backline, and it's a bit RNG. In here I got caught because I had no E, and he had a level advantage on me, so this is what you should be careful on. I needed a minion, this one, and he needed a minion as well to get level 3, and I did not respect it. And I didn't even manage to get level 3 because the minion switched aggro to him. Which means I couldn't even W his E. So note, you can guess his E whenever he gonna recast it, which means that you can actually dodge the E damage, which actually does do damage because it does 4% max health damage, right? It can go up to 8% max health damage and 110 of course base damage. And so here's the thing, the minions are attacking him, they're aggroing him when he jumps on you, so you're gonna get actually maximum damage value if he hits you, and that does actually damage, right? Now that's fine, I mean, mistakes gonna happen, of course, and in here, watch, I place 2 points in my Q, so I can play a little bit more often, more defensively. And also it does more damage when I'm poking him, since I'm not really looking for W engages anytime soon, right? As he has no E right now, he can't really E jump on me because it doesn't make sense, right? And I can still use my E defensively again, I Q him away. Now watch. In here I have 2 points in my Q, so as I said, I can play a little more defensively. And again, like in here, if I had a point in my W, I would be able to kill him, right? But usually it's not normal for a Jax player to run into your E like this, right? It's actually not normal to do this because he just dies, right? And then he was forced to use his biscuits, potions, everything to survive, just to run away, of course, right? And normally, yes, if I would have a point in my W, yes, but usually he doesn't walk into bushes like this, so he won't be able to get the kill with your W. Now in here note I was chasing him, I was trying to kill him, but sadly his biscuits really kicked in, his potion, his D-shield, whatever. I was really trying to kill him, but sadly earlier on the comet didn't hit him, because he jumped on a minion. Which again, sometimes hits, sometimes it won't, because he jumps away in time, so it can happen. He flashes, it doesn't really matter because I have bomb plating, so it shouldn't be a concern. I sap him, of course, but sadly I kinda ran out of mana. So earlier on I missed some Qs here and there, right? Or perhaps a basic attack on him, so that would be lethal right now. So watch out to not do some small mistakes here and there, because you could possibly miss out on a kill opportunity. Now, right now, what I'm doing, I'm overstaying a little because Kha'Zix was revealed actually earlier on to be elsewhere. So right now, I'm just picking up the minions, of course, CS up as much as possible, and that's it really, right? That's it. You just pick up the wave, you pull a recall, that's fine, and buy your cloth armor, buy your refillable potion. You are building into Frozen Heart this matchup. It's great. It's very good actually, with very good item components. Um, okay, so let's move on a little bit, right? In here, not much will happen. Some Q trades here and there, and that's about it. Now again, watch. He wants to greed on the cannon. I Q him, of course. And I'm looking for a W after his E expires. Very consistent trade. I have bomb plating, so I can trade into him. Especially because he has no E, so if he has no E, he can look for a W, of course. Again, not much will happen in here, just make sure. In here, it's not even a necessity to place down defensive E's, because he won't look to all in you, and until he's actually fighting you, your E will just expire, and it's just waste of mana, so it's not, right now it's not worth. Right now it's actually not worth, because you are in a position where you're slow pushing with a gigantic wave, and it's not very likely gonna just randomly try to all in you or something. Skip forward a bit. Again, like even under tower, harass him as much as possible, because at this point, watch out how much damage does the Q deal. Approximately 200 with Scorch and Comet, around that area. Every time he last hits, make sure you poke him. So either he loses the minion or you poke him, so make it an ultimatum, of course. Always try to like tie it to a last hit. And in here I queued a little too early, before the tower actually hit the minion, right? So you don't want to do this, because Jax can pick up the minion. He either loses the minion or he gets poked, or you just threaten it. Don't even press Q, you just threaten it. So he just loses it anyways, right? You just step up, you just threaten it, right? You don't have to like always give it up. And the pokes are still harassing, right? He has to go refillable, he has to go for biscuits just to survive my early. And right now he can't even look for an all-in, sadly, because he's just so poked down. Now in here I had a mistake that I did not ping my Lilia to gank or Yone. Now Lilia was out of position, so it's not a big deal, but maybe I could ban ping Yone, because it's a very consistent kill, right? The reasoning behind that, it's very simple. I have two roots, which means he can hit a 100% E ult, and both of us get out because I have over 1k HP, so I can just like randomly die somehow, right? So Jax's E won't save him. But that was a mistake on my part, and in here I should then push a little faster than I do right now, and cancel his recall. But I was thinking of a slow push, because it kinda looks like Jax just is bluffing his recall because he has no TP. Right after what happened, he did actually pick up the plant, so he had more fighting power, but it was a trade of a plate. So I got 175 gold, but he managed to pick up a lot of like stats, right, like mana and HP from the plants. So what's gonna happen right now, it looks like he's slow pushing, so I decided to just aim to go for a recall, pick up my Glacier Buckler and another Cloth Armor. Glacier Buckler is an insane item on Maokai, it's very good, especially into AD matchups. Wow, there are so many things in this game. Just like, you don't hear them, man. just don't hear them right now. Let me just turn off my lights. Okay, so what happens right now? Lilia invades, I'm invading, and I know Jax is coming out of the base. I'm gonna reveal it so everybody can see. Jax was coming out of the base. He recalled not a long time ago, just to be clear. And so they are looking for a invade right now, right? I'm stepping up, of course. We are looking for an invade. Lilia gets caught a little too early. It's not a big deal actually because we managed to pick up the Jax anyways. I will in, of course. And in here I suppose I didn't root in time and maybe Lilia could then escape. So that could be a mistake actually on my part as well, but it's not a big deal because what's gonna happen right now is I get triple kill. So all you guys gotta do just play Maokai on top lane and just win. Just win. Keep forward. Of course you're gonna pick up the wave, you won't just randomly recall when Jax is not in position to contest the wave. I missed the cannon, but happens. And yeah, I mean, life goes on. I just brought my other item, Warden's Mail, really good into Jax, of course. Right now we are taking Herald. I'm just hovering it just in case there is like a random chance Kha'Zix's gonna show up. So if Kha'Zix shows up, you wanna zone him away with WQ. So he doesn't get to be in smite range. If you have ult up, that's a bonus, or an E. Use your E, of course, to slow him down, whatever. Now, in here, of course, Kha'Zix was on the bot side of the map, right? He was on the bot side, but he did have ultimate, and what if he is not on the bot side? He could be in one of these bushes where we warded. He could just show up in a second, look for an ult, smite, maybe E out, ult again, whatever, you know, whatever. So that's what you kind of want to zone away if he shows up, right? With your W, with your Q, you should aim to do that. That's why I was even like holding into my W, because it does not do much damage, so at this point you just keep it if someone shows up, you know? So in here I will do some Q mistakes where he was spacing my Q and I Q too early, or he was sidestepping it. And I E'd in a bit too early there. I could bend dodge his E damage. I just W'd in because I thought he just gonna recast his E, but he didn't. He just held into it. So that was a mistake on my part, of course. Again, like, it's not a big deal if you don't get kills on Jax. If you don't get kills on Jax, that's totally fine, because it's not really like a lane you're supposed to beat too easily anyways. And in here again, same issue, my Q gets spaced a little. He started to space better and better than previously. And so that made me, like, of course, do some mistakes here and there. But even if I did some mistakes, I evened out the trade a little bit, which means that I get poked, he gets poked, of course, and it's not really the end of the world. The seal up, of course, look for Q pokes. We are in a very safe spot. Again, Q got spaced, which you should watch out for, because some people are just sitting constantly on the edge. Now, in here I had a mistake, which disallowed me to kill Jax, so as much as you can, aim to W someone, but walk behind them and look for a Q that pushes them under your tower, and in there actually I had an opportunity, watch, so I W him, and you should aim to walk behind him when he's rooted, and then look for a Q, you push him under tower, you root again with your ultimate, and then he will take 1 or 2 tower shots, and those 1 or 2 tower shots usually allow you to kill him. But it's not the end of the world, of course, like, it happens, mistakes happen here and there, and now again he is preemptively, which is not a big deal, because what's gonna happen, he gets queued, and I ult him. Now, in there I had a spacing issue, just at the edge he caught me with his ultimate, and that sort of disallowed me, that extra MR and armor disallowed me from killing him, because look, he just survives with a very slight amount of HP. Where it's like 36 right after my whole combo, so likely that the extra armor and the more disallowed me from killing him. I could then also like all in him a teensy bit earlier before his biscuits kill him. Look, but maybe my W wasn't on, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I didn't have W, huh? But in here I could then start to, I see. Because he still had ignites, so he's actually a bit concerning, right? Like every single second basic attack does extra damage, of course, and his W, right, does some degree of DPS with ignites. That's a bit scary, right? And so that's why you should watch out, like, even in here it was like really a basic attack amount of mistake, or either I missed a Q here and there, so you should watch out to maximize out your basic attacks, your Qs as much as possible, because every time he escapes it a teensy bit amount of HP. So arguably you could go for Ignite, if you wanna really play for lane, if you wanna finish him, but sometimes Ghost is the thing that will give you a kill opportunity, and Ghost is way better outside of laning phase, so up to you. I prefer Ghost, of course. Up to you again. Like, now in here, what the hell do? I leash her the blue, of course, and we are running towards the break. Now, again, it's 2-9, but it doesn't matter. Even in Master Plus, people perma try to contest this type of objectives, so you shouldn't be like worried or anything, you know, that oh my god, they won't contest it, you come down, you lose plates, whatever. No, because Yon shoved his wave, he's recalling, and Yon can rotate towards the plane while he also has TP up, right? Now in here it's very simple what's happening, so if he takes my wave, I take his wave, it's a really easy trade. While also, you should look bot lane, because Bard went a bit deep, but you shouldn't assume that it's a bad thing, because if Kha'Zix jumps in, he ults himself, he goes invulnerable, and Kha'Zix too. I can really easily TP in, and when I TP in, by the way, I'm TPing is just the animation is bugged, of course. We can see it on the map though. I can look for a really good ultimate, right? And so I did ult, and I think I caught the Kha'Zix with the root, if I'm correct. Yeah, I did root him. Then I W him and finish him off with Q before Bard even dies. Then I missed it, of course, on the Zilean, because he's a fast fella. But it's not really a big deal, because I forced them also to, so they play into my team and they can't run away this way. Now in here, Lydia is still kind of like trying to pick up the Zilean, has some difficulties, but manages to smite him. Did that Q hit? I'm not sure if the Q hit, but the smite definitely dealt. He got definitely smited. So in here we finish Frozen Heart, so we are way stronger than Jax. Let's move on. Just to the point, of course, you have an item advantage, so you can absolutely smack that Jax. That level should not concern you too much. Again, just trades. Very simple trades, and at this point of the game you have a lot to cooldown. You have your Ionian boots, you have your Frozen Heart, over 40 cooldown in your pocket, of course, right? 50 ability haste, which means that your ult is quite spammy. Right now it's 80 seconds, after a level 73, so truth to be told, as fast as Jax finishes Divine, you should shove and aim to leave your lane. You should not look for short trades or whatever. Like, I mean, if you kill him away when he jumps in, that can be fine, but don't do anything. After he gets Divine, don't fight him as much as you can, because he just beats you. It doesn't matter, he just beats you. So what you should aim to do, use your ultimates for your team, because the thing is, like, you can't actually beat Jax in 1v1s with Maokai at this stage. And what's gonna happen is that I pick Jax up, of course. And we are looking for some type of fight now. Note, this is not a dangerous fight because they are super behind. If you look at the differences, they are super behind. So it's not like we are risking our bounties or whatever. No, it's not actually that big of a deal. But that's right, life goes on. Right now what I'm looking for is just quite simple. I think I'm just walking downwards, setting some wards up, and I'm kind of checking if Kha'Zix with his low HP by chance he's greeding on these how's it called, monsters. Now I know for a reason he could be around. There's an argument that maybe Zeri or the other guy is around, that's why I eat the bush to check if there is someone inside. And so apparently it turns out that they are mid-side, of course. Again, it's not a big deal because I see this area with my E. I can W Kha'Zix and wipe him with my Q. Then I just simply walk out because I'm quite tank to be killed, right? I just simply walk out. Now what's gonna happen, I ping my teammates to get this red. I even started. Did I ping it? Uh, I think I pinged. Yeah, I did ping it. Okay. So Yon gets it. Of course, you don't need it. So don't pick up reds as Maokai unless no one else picks it up. But trust me, a Yon, a AD carry values it more than you do. So always give it to them. Whatever. So life goes on, and right now you're looking to finish Radiant Virtue. The reasoning behind that is very simple. If he or he is alive, then we win team fights. If he is not alive, we don't, because they rely, two of them at least rely to be deep in melee combat, right? And they also have a lot of DPS, right? So the more they are alive, the more DPS essentially they can push out. While also like it's like it doesn't matter if you live longer as Maokai if your teammates are dead, right? It's just a very simple logic. That's why you should aim to go get that Radiant Virtue. Um, okay, again, simple strat. You're really insane at controlling these type of objectives. So Yon is bot side right now against the Jax, but it should not be a big deal because Yon can outskill or perhaps even beat the enemy Jax with Kraken. Your goal with Maokai is just to be as annoying as possible, set up your E's, W with anybody that shows up, of course, get a pick on them with your team because you guys are ahead enough. The reasoning why on his bot lane, he's a bit better at dealing with Jax than I am, but of course I can also like wave clear, just like hug the tower, so it's not a big deal. But I have a bit more pressure than Yon does around these type of objectives. And you know, it's simple what's gonna happen right now. Either A, we are looking for some type of dive, or we are looking for a Herald, right? So right now we were looking for some type of dive in here. And I don't know how, this just didn't stun. This was a bit weird, sometimes it hitbox hits, sometimes it doesn't, but it was weird. Now, sadly, in here I get pulled in a little bit with Kha'Zix's E. The guy of course ults, and I walked back for no reason, I ult in. I Q, I'm trying to get out, and I did manage to allow my teammates to pick up one kill or two kills? One kill, okay. One kill, but we also got the tower. And we can see that Yon is actually quite okay with like this Jax matchup. Like if you're skilled enough, like with this lead, and you're kinda even with Jax, should be able to like sort of handle him. Okay. So we traded a 1 for 1. I think I had some degree of bounty, so yeah, I did actually have a 400 bounty, so it might not be actually worth what I greeded for. So I was a little greedy there, thinking that my teammates can catch up in time. It wasn't the greatest 1 for 1 actually. Okay, so we are still bot side setting up E's, of course, warding around, just to see if Kha'Zix is trying to sneak in, you know, whatever, maybe could even proc the plant. We have clear vision on top side, so I didn't really like bother to rotate that. I kinda wanted to start this out, and I think like Lily at the speed of light, he can just like walk downwards ASAP and just rotate to this direct. And here I ult in, you know, I save the own. I lock down the Zilean, of course. Now I don't chase her because it's a free kill to Yon or to Bard, so don't do that. Chase the kill that they cannot catch, the Zilean. It's a very simple logic, of course. You W, you Q him. Very nice. And so what's gonna happen? You want to kind of like try to peel your teammates, right? I mean, I want to reveal everyone so you guys can see it with your eyes. Huh? So one thing we saw that Kha'Zix was ulting, right? That's a thing we did actually see. Now, you can actually really easily predict that he is looking to kill the guy, the Caitlyn, so he will walk towards him, right? And you can look for a Q, you can W him because he's not targetable, but you can look for a Q or ult if you have it up to sort of disallow him from engaging on Kate. Then I root him, of course. But sadly, he was on the wrong side of my Q, so I pushed him a teensy bit towards my team, but I rooted him. And because of that, Kate just picked up this kill, which is really nice. That is quite simple what's happening. I'm just like shoving this wave. And I'm just sitting in this bush. For no reason. Don't ask why. I'm just sitting there just to be selected. Now, again, it's 5 to 21, we are turbo ahead, so this should be a free objective. I have my ult up. I have actually plenty of mana, even if it doesn't look like so. What we are looking for is just simply plainly we are looking to pick up this Drake uh, and deny Tempest bounty, right? Because Drakes at this point just give a lots of bounty. Up, we see 500 gold, of course, right? See forward. I ult him, just so I get the assist. I was kinda like maybe I need to ult in just to like secure the kill, but it shouldn't be a big concern because this ult comes up quite quickly. It has only a 1 minute cooldown at this point. At this point I also finished Radiant Virtue. I got the control ward, of course. And right now I'm just like heading back to top lane. It's quite easy. I didn't buy Bramble Vest yet into Jax because I'm not really 1v1ing him too much in general. So I just kinda like wanted to rush a insta Radiant. Because I'm telling you guys, in team fights he gets just overhand. It doesn't matter if he has Divine or not. Right now, again, like 24 seconds, 22 my ult, so it comes up really fast as I said previously, so um, it shouldn't really be a concern right now. If you wait a teensy bit, it's gonna be up by the time we are doing Baron. I could then also eat this bush, of course, which I didn't, but I was like, it's not very likely that they gonna, of course, contest this. But usually it's a bit more consistent if you have ult up, so you can sort of fool the enemy jungle, enemy team, so they don't get to contests so easily. So of course, like when the enemy jungle is there, just insta rush the objective. That's your goal. Um, Instead of like trying to like do anything else, that's just your instant goal. Now, if someone can push out mid ASAP and get the objective without any like percentage of chance of being like randomly like Kha'Zix ults in, jumps in, whatever, smites it, then uh, of course, like depends on his death timer. The longer it is, the more time you have to shove out a wave or not. If it's long enough, you can like look for a shove and get 10 Baron, but it depends on their death timer. When he had like 15 seconds at that timer, I was like, let's rush Baron instead of taking like the mid wave. Because even as Maokai, you have DPS towards your wave clear is not the best, but you have great DPS actually towards this type of bigger objectives. So you should be actually there. And in here my team is just like turbo smashing everyone because um fun fact, by the way, I had 2 challengers in my team and they didn't, but some of them used to be challengers previously, so it's like it's not that unfair, you know. It's not like, oh my god, system bad. But there was like a 340 something LP difference between Kha'Zix and Lydia, so that's it. So it wasn't like I think it wasn't the most like fair matchmaking, of course. In here I tried to eat him. Maybe I should then Q him, but Q wouldn't reach. So maybe ult, right? That would be a kill, but it doesn't really matter now. We got at least the XP, so it's not the end of the world if you get the XP and not the kill. I think that's like okay as well. That's all. In here we are sieging a little because they are not the best at defending. We just like pick up the tower quite easily. Maybe I could tank it instead of Caitlyn, but oh well, no. Oh well. Bard did ult, so I committed with my own ult. I W, of course. I Q him. Here it's just like very easy, we just slowly end the game. Yon opens up top lane. We are opening up bot and mid are already open up, I mean, and we just simply end the game. So that's it for now. Have a nice day. Of course, if you have any type of questions about this specific matchup, feel free to ask them in the comment section. And if you're looking by chance for league coaching, you can also join my League of Legends Discord. I will of course leave the link in the comments. Um, Anything else I could mention about? I think that's it for now. Pretty much it. That's it for now. Have a nice day.